Hello, hello! I'm so happy to have you visit today. This is Carla from Art with Katie. Welcome to my channel. Today I have a new video for you. This time I will be unboxing a new acrylic set. Or is it first impressions of my new acrylic set? Anyway, a few weeks back I had this craving to start painting with acrylics again, and I realized that most of my acrylics were dried. Because of that, I thought of why not buying a new acrylic set, which is why I chose the Arteza acrylic paints, because they have a very large set which is not that expensive. It's quite affordable, and I heard different kind of reviews. Some people adore them, some people didn't like them, and I just wanted to know how they were because I wanted to use them. I was very interested, I was very curious. So I did, and if you haven't seen that video, I'm gonna leave the link right here, and of course you'll find it in the description box, because I love opening up new materials and test them and then try them out and then give you my opinion of how they perform. So with that in mind, I said, well, I did now the first impressions or my impressions of an acrylic set, and why not then go for something that everybody says that's the acrylic paint that you should have. And that, my friends, is what we're gonna do today. We're gonna go and open up a box of one of those very recommended acrylic set, and then I can give you my honest opinion of which ones I would buy if I were you. And here they are. So we're gonna be opening up this set, testing them out, trying them out, and then I can give you yet another honest opinion. Remember that I have a whole playlist of materials that I try out and give you my opinion about, in case you're interested in purchasing many different types of materials. I have watercolors, I have markers, I have notebooks, and you can see those videos and make your own opinion about these products. And this time around, Liquitex, we're gonna try you out and see what's a big fuss, because I think I used them a long time ago, and I honestly don't remember. I think I used the student grade, and I also know that Golden's another one of the brands that most people like to use and recommend. So I might be getting some Golden eventually, so I can have the whole picture for you. But in the meantime, let's just try them out, and I'll see you in a bit. So here we are, and I'm ready to open those new acrylics. I showed you the box before, and well, you can see there's nothing super complicated about it. The name of the brand, the type of material, which is heavy body acrylic, the colors that it comes with, which are 12 pieces. I like that it has different languages on the cover. I think that's smart of them, especially if they're selling in all these countries with different languages. Here the same, here the same here, and then we come to the back, which again you get a lot of information. It says here in English, heavy body acrylic is our highest viscosity professional acrylic with a high concentration of light fast fine art pigment and a vibrant satin finish. Its rich consistency holds crisp brush strokes and knife marks. This set brings together a selection of core colors to help you build your base palette. I like that they say that the viscosity it's really high, and especially they make emphasis on you being able to leave knife marks and brush strokes, and that's really good because it'll look more oil-alike, I guess. It also says here that it's in some pigments case, that the concentration of light fast, it's good. Remember that in the video in which I reviewed the Arteza set, we talked a little bit about light fastness and how it is important depending on how long we want our art to last. Okay, and here we have the colors that we're just gonna find out in a second, or we're gonna see in a second. On the side, I'm gonna add the list of colors that I recommend that you have when you begin with your palette. Remember that you don't have to have them all. It is beautiful to have 60-20 100 colors, but there's certain pigments that are really essential to have in your essentials. Nothing inside, and I like the option that it comes with a plastic around the back part of the box and here, because in that case, if I'm in the store and I want to see what's inside, I can without damaging the products, but I'm able to see inside of the package, if that makes sense. I just thought it was pretty creative. Although I know that there's some people that certainly do not respect packaging and, you know, stuff in the store, and they just grab everything, and that's not okay. Don't be like that, please. Anyway, let's just dig in. So here you can see the 12 colors. We have yellow medium, naphthol red. Hope I'm pronouncing everything correctly. I could just never, you know, do with these words. We have a crimson, a purple, a ultramarine blue, cerulean blue, wow, phthalo green, yellow oxide, transparent burnt sienna, transparent raw umber, ivory black, and titanium white. And here I'm just gonna grab one so that you can see. Here they have, again, the brand, the type of acrylic, which is heavy body acrylic, the name. They also have the code. They have the number, the light fastness, which is, I believe, this one's 1. And they all seem to be level 1, which is the highest. And you can see here the transparency. Remember that we saw that in the previous video with the other acrylic review. And a sample of the color. This package is 22 millimeters or 0.74 fluid ounces. And here we have, again, the pigment, series 2, semi-opaque, light fastness, excellent. Okay, which is, again, super good. And you're able to buy them individually as well, and they're made in France. So this is one of the most coveted, the most admired, the most well-known acrylic products out there, along with gold. So let's just go ahead and do a swatch. I can prepare this time. You don't have to wait for me to make the grid, but we're gonna try out all these colors. I just noticed that I need to color half of this so that we see how well they cover black. So I'll be right back. So when I thought I can prepare, I really wasn't. Anyway, I'm gonna start with the white because the other test that I did, the other swatches, started with the white. So who I am to disturb the order and everything I've been doing. Remember that all the materials are in the description box. If you're wondering about what marker I use for the titles and the lines and the boxes, whatever, in this test, it's this one, the Sakura Pigma Graphic number 1, which shouldn't have any issue with the colors that we're gonna be testing. All the materials that I use you can find in my playlist, which is titled Art and Bullet Journal Essentials. You can find them as well in the description box. So far my videos are not sponsored, so holler me if there's any materials that you'd like for me to try. In the meantime, let's get working with this. Okay, they don't have any like protective lid, which means I guess that they're very sure that we won't have any issues with their product. Remember that it's very simple. I just put paint in the knife and then I just place it there. And it looks really creamy, really nice. Let me just close it up. And then with whatever is left. And you can see that it did the job. I mean, you can see the black, but this is only one coat. Something to acknowledge. You can see here that the yellow is a little bit more transparent than the white, although they say that it's about the same. This one did really well. I thought it was actually more, I guess it had more coverage than the previous two, but no, it's supposed to be about the same. Nice. See, this one's supposed to be more transparent. That's why you're able to see the black, even though I cover it, I think, quite well. Here you can see this one is clearly more opaque than the rest. These three are sort of transparent. These are semi-transparent, and this one's completely, like, it covers everything that you put underneath. You can see it there very, very clearly. Something for you to be aware when you're choosing your paints. Again, it's clear how the cerulean blue and this yellow oxide are completely covering. Sorry, this was me that I didn't put enough paint on the knife. It's black. I just thought that it was a shame that I color it, but you can see that it covers pretty well. I think I diluted a little bit with water. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add the names, and then I'm gonna do a little test for you to see how they work. Since I changed the order of the colors as I was placing them, of course I messed up with this. I wasn't paying attention. Anyway, nothing that a little bit of white out can resolve. Let's go ahead and do the paint test. I'll try to do it as I did the previous test, so we can have a fair or the fairest comparison. So let's give it out a try. So well, here it is, the paint test. I don't know exactly what to tell you. I struggle blending the colors. I think they would not dry so fast. And I just let the little dots of paint, which I did with the other test that I did on the previous video, and I didn't have this much of an issue. I guess it depends on the paints you're using. You can see that they dried really fast because even the little circles like stay there on the paper. By the way, this is watercolor paper, same as last time. Probably not the best paper to try them out, but again, I just wanted to be fair to everything that I was trying. So yeah, they dry really fast, which some people are gonna love. I wasn't expecting them to dry this fast, so that's why like my blending didn't come out very nicely. I did have issues blending last time, and I remember that I mentioned the same thing about the paper not being ideal, which is why I used the watercolor paper again, so that I wouldn't have a better experience just because of the paper that I was using. And let me show you what I did last time. Here it is. See, this is the one I did with the Artisa, and this is the one I did with Daler and Rodney. So you can see they look very different. I remember these were really dry, but I think the pigment, the paints, they're dry. They've been God knows for how long in my, I guess, material set. I had them for a long time, and they felt really dry. Here you can even see the paints, they're here. They look dry, even at the moment, and it's been months since I did this swatch. And here, I was expecting something of the sort, that the paint wasn't gonna be dry and that it would blend. You can see that it did blend, but you get more of like a purplish, pinkish, not more like a deep purple. This time I wasn't expecting the purple to be this powerful, and this time I thought something similar would happen, which I don't know. I did add more paint. You saw me adding more paint, which I didn't do this time around with these paints. But yeah, so I don't know. I cannot tell you that I had the best experience. I just have to try them again with the right paper in a bigger area. So yeah, and I mean, it looks okay. Not my best set of trees ever. I have to say that I like these trees better. Although maybe the blending between the red and the purple looks better here, because you can actually see red. Here you cannot see the red. Here you can see some red. And these aren't dry, so I'm gonna put them here. But you can see these look really dry. And these look, I mean, they're dry as well, but because they have maybe the glossy finish, they look more, I don't know, healthy. These also have some sort of like a glowish finish, but not as glowy as this one. Like this one doesn't look that glossy as other colors. But here you are, and I'm gonna let these dry before we can really compare them. But I was thinking that it'll be fun to like sort of like compare the three at the same time. So let's just go ahead and do it. Here is like another piece of watercolor paper, because why would we make our life simple with the white paper, right? And I have here the paints that I want to try. I have the colors from Daler and Rodney. I have the colors from Artisa, and just the new Liquitex. And we're gonna start with the yellow. You can even see here the sizes. This is 12 millimeters. This one is 22 millimeters, the same as the Liquitex. You can see here the differences in coloring. These two are similar in color. This one, the pigment's different, it looks brighter. These two are really buttery. This one, again, I might have had them for such a long time that they dry. They're also, I'm almost certain they're student grade. And these are premium and these are professional. Like at the moment, I have to tell you that I enjoy these two more than these. Now let's try the red. Just letting you know that I'm trying to choose the colors that allegedly are the same. Like this is mid yellow. Where is it? Here, medium yellow. And this one's mid yellow, and this one's yellow medium. This one's the one that's really off, but this is supposed to be bright red, brilliant red. And this is crimson, and this is crimson, because these I didn't have in the other sets, and this one only comes in scarlet. The other red that comes is scarlet, and this one, the other red that comes, is called scarlet red as well. So that's why I chose this red, but you can see it from a distance that they're gonna be different, very different. The pigments are different. Again, I don't know if you see the little circle that stayed there. This one feels really buttery. The formulation of Arteza feels really like buttery to me. Like soft and silky. I don't know how to say it any other way. And this one here, see how it dries really fast? And this one, as the name says, feels more heavy. It feels heavier. Although you can see that the transparency seems to be different. This is semi-opaque and this is supposed to cover a lot. So you can see there the difference in that color. This one's more opaque than the rest of them. Let me change the water and I'll be right back. So you don't usually see this in the shot, but I have two like water containers, and I was just using my pour roller as a palette. And I have tissue as well. When you're using these sort of strong pigments, I do recommend that you have two, water sources. One to get rid of the pigment and the other one to really clean the brush, I guess. It depends what you're doing, the color that you're using, because also besides cleaning your brush correctly, sometimes if the water is too dirty, then it translates to whatever you're working on and it looks well, it looks muddy, and that has happened to me sadly lots of times, and it's not something that I wish for anyone because it's just a bummer when that happens. See, again, this one was almost drying. And well, you can tell me in the comments if you think I'm letting it dry too much. I don't think I am, but it appears that it's quite an enough amount of time for it to start drying. I know that I'm not using a palette, but I don't think there's a lot of need when I'm doing swatches. Maybe something to consider on following tests. Now the last color, the green. I tried to choose the primary and green because I know some of you like to see how it stands next to Not the rest. See, this one seems really dry. Let's see what happens. This is supposed to be phthalo green. On a side note, I like the color that we sort of created here. Anyway, here's the sample. Let me get it closer to the camera. You can see here they're drying, but you can see the circle. I love it. It might be the paper. I'm almost convinced by now that it is the paper. But I'm gonna let it dry and we'll do an update later on. I have to say that because the Daleroni, they're dry, I've been enjoying to use the Artisa and the Liquitex much more. The Liquitex feels really heavy. It is true that it is heavy body acrylic, and this one, the Artisa, feels really buttery. Hello, I just wanted to share with you an update on the acrylics we worked on the other day. This has been a wait of 3 days, and just like that afternoon, like this, they were completely dry. It's like, if it is a thin layer, like we have no issues. Like I didn't want to touch like these little bits that they, just in case, but so far so good. And here, well, again, this like an hour after I worked on it, it was really dry. I just was really aware that this, because they're little like swaps, might not be, but today they seem like super dry. Maybe on the inside they're not. But I think like if you're not using it like really pasty, you shouldn't have any issues. And they have great coloring, and here you can compare like all of them. I worked on it like this actually. So yeah, great product. So this is what we did today. We opened our new box of acrylics, now from Liquitex, because it's one of the best brands out there and they're highly recommended. And we did a swatch. Here it is. It comes with 12 colors that you can combine to create, honestly, every single color that you need. You don't need many more colors than this one, and I'm gonna again leave you the colors that I recommend on the description box so you have that handy. Regardless of the brand of acrylics that you're buying, I highly recommend that you get those colors, because those are the ones that are gonna be able to, you know, conquer the acrylic world with them. And besides opening and swatching them and making a little test, we also compare them to these two brands. And here's the result of that. I have to say that there's brands for every budget. And I think that one of the first things that you need to have in mind when working with any medium is to just start working and start practicing and start creating with whatever material you're able to get your hands on, and of course afford. Why? Because that's gonna give you the idea of what's the best material for you. Okay, depending on what you're doing, you're gonna use various sort of material. So just don't get discouraged if you hear, oh, this is the best and you don't have it, or you should get this but you can afford it. Just get your hands on whatever material you can and start working with them, and that's gonna give you exactly the experience that you need to be able to decide what you want. You don't have to break the bank while getting a set of acrylics. Again, what I do recommend is that you get the right colors. That's going to be much more important than the brand. This is a beautiful brand. I tried them before and I have always had a very nice experience. They're completely recommended, but they have a higher price than other brands. And don't forget to see the video in which I unboxed my Artisa for my thoughts and recommendations. But as for Liquitex, they're just a great product, and I highly recommend it. Thank you so much for joining me in one more video. I think it was very educational to try these babies out and see why they're one of the best brands out there. So I'll be using them and keep you posted. And if you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Remember to share this with your fellow friends, and of course subscribe, because every single week I have for you new videos that have everything to do with art, art supplies, and even productivity and organization through the bullet journal method. So I'll see you in my next video, and in the meantime, keep creative, keep safe, and always be kind, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Get right to it, and let's unbox them and try them out, and then I can be honest with you in the most honest way. Although my microphone keeps getting. Please like and share my video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you next time.